Hello, my dear students. Welcome to English class. And yes, a very big welcome to Oyalen, your flawless school too. Today, we'll be talking about the part of English studies. English studies is a subject we do in school amongst other subjects. Now, in English studies, we have different parts, and these parts are called the component of English. Now, the first part or the first component of English is the grammar part. In grammar, we learn the rules of English, how we can make a sentence correct, how you can use your noun, your verb, your punctuation, your tenses to make a good and correct sentence. Under grammar, we have parts of speech. Part of speech is your noun, your pronoun, your verb, your adverb, your adjective. Then we also have tenses, your past tense, your present tense, and so on. Then we have sentence structure. In sentence structure, we have the simple sentence, the compound sentence, the complex sentence. Then we have the clauses and phrases. Then we also have concord. Concord is the agreement between the subject and the verb. Then lastly, for grammar, we have punctuation. So when you are being taught this on the grammar, know this is actually under English grammar. Now, let's move on to the second component of English. We have the vocabulary. So there's something that is written on the board where you get to see vocabulary development, word associated with health, education, and the likes. So in vocabulary, we learn new words, words that probably you must have seen or used, or maybe you must have seen it or read it, but you do not know the meaning of the word or how to use it in a sentence. So in this part of English, you learn new words. And learning new words makes you speak better and also read fluently. Now, the next part of English is comprehension. Comprehension is understanding a passage, a story. So in comprehension, we read a long passage, a long story. And then after reading, the whole idea or the main goal of comprehension is for you to understand what you have read. So in comprehension, we will learn how to understand a passage and also how to give correct answers to the questions that follows this passage or the comprehension. The next is composition. So in comprehension, you get to read someone else's story, right? Good. But in composition, you get to write your own story. I believe there are students here that would want to write their own stories for other people to read. Good. In composition, you get to write your own story. Under composition, we have letter writing and essay. For letter writing, we have formal, informal, semi-formal. For essay, we have narrative, descriptive essay, argumentative essay, expository essay. Now, the literature part is the fun part of English. In literature, we get to read stories, poems, parables, and the likes. And after reading, in literature, you get to know about people, life, imagination generally. So this is literature for you in English. Then the next component of English is the oral English. If you want to speak correctly, you want to pronounce words correctly, this is the part of English that you look out for, the oral English. In oral English, we learn our vowels and our consonants. A word is made up of sounds. Yes, words are made up of sounds. In oral English, you get to learn these sounds and also how to transcribe this sound. Take note. If you want to get the correct pronunciation of a word, it is through transcription. Now, in oral English, you learn to transcribe. Lastly, we have the summary writing. In summary writing, you get to read a very long passage. And after reading the long passage, you pick out the main ideas of that long passage. And if you're able to pick out the main idea, you try as much as possible to make that idea very brief. That is why it is called summary. Summary. Another word for summary is brief. So summary writing, take note, is different from letter writing. Summary writing is totally different from letter writing. So these are the components of English. These are the parts that make up English study. So I want you to look out for this part. So when we are about to learn, you get to know that okay, this is grammar, this is under vocabulary, this is under comprehension, oh, this is under composition, literature, oral English, and summary writing. Now we are diving into the GSS 1 first term curriculum.